So anyway, I keep hearing that the Angel Reese, Asia Wilson supporters they are the ones with the motion. They're moving the needle.
For months now, the debate has raged across social media and sports shows. Just who is responsible for the sudden, explosive surge in women's basketball? You've heard the arguments, seen the takes, and witnessed the battles online. Is it one player, a rising tide lifting all boats, or something else entirely? But here's the raw, uncovered truth. When the cold, hard numbers finally dropped, they didn't just participate in the debate, they ended it, revealing an undeniable reality that few were ready to accept.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlyn Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize that."
So what happens when what I think is probably far and away the most popular female athlete there is in existence right now, Caitlyn Clark, what happens when her jersey sales are revealed in a very important period, by the way? September 1 through November 3rd would be some prime Christmas area. Just pointing that out.
The noise was deafening. Claims swirled that the sudden spotlight on the WNBA was a collective effort, a result of several talented stars finally getting their due. We heard arguments suggesting the increased attention wasn't about a single phenomenon, but rather a new era ushered in by multiple players. There was even the notion put forward by some, including one prominent voice, that the league's newfound visibility was due, in part, to Me Too. It was a compelling narrative, easy to believe if you stayed within the echo chambers. But beneath the surface of social media trends and podcast soundbites, a different story was brewing, waiting for the official data to reveal its staggering scale. The question wasn't about who wanted to be the face of the league, but who the numbers proved undeniably was, and one specific metric ripped through the carefully constructed narratives like a shockwave.
When Adam Silver was trying to get Caitlyn Clark in the three-point shooting contest in the All-Star weekend, it was because he needed her more than she needed them. All right? That because of the popularity, what it was she could draw in. Fact is, a lot of her ratings in games last year beat a hell of a lot of regular season NBA games. That's how she moves the needle.
Reese is somewhere on Twitter saying, "We gotta do something." Inspirational, sure, but let's get real. Doing something means action. And right now...
What does that mean? We deserve more.
Of course,
everybody.
I agree.
Everybody.
I agree with that.
But we gotta get face the consequences. Damn, we gotta get it up.
Y'all gotta deal with something. Y'all gotta do something.
The first undeniable crack in the prevailing narrative appeared with the release of the WNBA's official jersey sales figures. For fans eager to see whose popularity was translating into tangible support, this was the moment of truth. And the results weren't just clear, they were absolutely definitive. Leading the entire league in jersey sales, leaving every other player in her wake established veterans, rising stars, everyone, was the rookie phenom, Caitlyn Clark. Her name topped the list, a testament to immediate and widespread fan investment. And another player often thrust into the center of the equal impact debate, notably, conspicuously, they were nowhere to be found within the top 10. This wasn't speculation. It was a direct measurement of which player fans were willing to open their wallets for, an early, stark illustration of where the real, tangible support was landing. Jersey sales represent more than just popularity. They signify fan commitment, a willingness to put money behind a player, making this ranking far more significant than online followers or viral clips. It was the first major piece of evidence suggesting the impact wasn't evenly distributed at all.
And we're not stopping there. How do Caitlyn Clark's jersey sales stack up compared to the NBA? Are you ready for this? She didn't just dominate the WNBA, she broke into the top of the NBA's jersey sales list. Only Steph Curry outpaced her. Let that sit for a second. The only NBA player who sold more jerseys than a rookie WNBA player is arguably the most popular basketball player in the world. And right behind him is Caitlyn Clark. That's not hype, that's generational impact. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's jersey sales are, well, let's just say they're comfortably in the not top 10 zone.
You see the top selling jerseys. Steph Curry is number 1, and who's that? Tell me who this is. Caitlyn Clark is number 2.
So when Angel Reese says we, maybe she means me too, because Caitlyn already did it.
This should tell everybody that wants to argue for these other players in the WNBA all they need to know.
But if her dominance in WNBA sales was a shock to some, the next revelation was simply unprecedented, a statistical anomaly that shattered every conventional expectation. The league didn't just release WNBA numbers, they offered a glimpse into her impact on the broader basketball landscape. Prepare yourself. Caitlyn Clark didn't just lead her league in sales, she cracked the top rankings in the entire NBA. That's right, a rookie in the WNBA outsold virtually every male superstar in the biggest basketball league on the planet. Her name appeared at number 2 on the combined list, trailing only the undisputed global icon, Steph Curry. Think about that for a second. The only basketball player on Earth with more jersey sales during that period was arguably the most beloved and influential player of the last decade. And right there at number 2 was a newcomer to the women's professional game. This wasn't just impressive, it was generational. It was a level of cross-league appeal and market power that redefined what was thought possible. Meanwhile, despite constant claims of comparable influence, the other player in question remained completely absent from this combined list, underscoring an economic and cultural gulf that looked less like a rivalry and more like an entirely different universe. This number 2 ranking wasn't hype. It was a verified receipt for global star power.
Sorry, young lady. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody would be watching the WNBA. Additionally, for you, this is all about Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn Clark is bringing the money to the game, the planes to the game, the TV viewership. The WNBA is on fire because of Caitlyn Clark.
The self-declared culture shifter who's been marketed as the face of Gen Z women's hoops couldn't crack the top. Why? Because viral interviews and TikToks don't equal fan investment. Hype is great.
Caitlyn Clark plays for the Indiana Fever in Indiana. Now, in sports terms, Indiana is considered, quote unquote, a small market. All right, that's just a fact. It is what it is. It's not New York. It's not LA. All right, it's not even Dallas. It's not Chicago. It's not Houston. It's not a big market. All right, it's not one of these juiced up markets. Boston would be the other one. And that is Caitlyn Clark.
Yet, the story of her impact extends far beyond the aisles of sports retailers. The numbers began telling an even bigger story about how one player could fundamentally alter the economic and geographic landscape of an entire league. Take her team's market, Indiana. By traditional sports metrics, it's often considered a mid-sized or even small market. Before her arrival, Indiana wasn't typically highlighted as a primary media center for the WNBA, but almost overnight that changed. Her presence single-handedly transformed Indiana into the epicenter of the WNBA universe. Arenas that previously saw moderate attendance suddenly began selling out, not just in Indiana, but everywhere her team traveled. Ticket prices skyrocketed to unprecedented levels, reaching into the thousands for prime seats, not because of a promotional push, but purely due to the magnetic pull of her name on the marquee. This wasn't incremental growth, it was an explosion. And her influence didn't stop at the gate. Her games became must-watch television, consistently drawing record-breaking viewership numbers, often surpassing the audience for regular season NBA games. This quantifiable shift in market dynamics and audience attention demonstrated a level of economic driving power that few athletes, male or female, achieve, especially so early in their careers. It proved her impact wasn't confined to social media trends. It was reshaping the league's physical and broadcast footprint.
The double-double record streak. Huh, okay. I mean, that's a joke.
So refreshing to see some shots actually make it refreshing! Oh no! That's Angel Reese's music! Bang! You like Mustangs? Your favorite player is Lawal Dang? Oh, you said bang!
Reese's highlight is getting a few TikTok dance collabs and hoping someone notices. It's cute, but it's not moving the economy.
How far is the gap? How far is the gap between Caitlyn Clark and her popularity and anybody else in the WNBA? That gap has got to be like the Grand Canyon. That's like she's in a different area code. She's in a different state, maybe a different country. There are no other WNBA players on this list. Angel Reese is not on there. All right? She is nowhere to be found.
So what is it about this player that generates such overwhelming, measurable support compared to others? While talent on the court is the foundation, the data suggests it's also profoundly linked to connection and character. Fans invest emotionally and financially in athletes they feel they can root for, who appear grounded and focused amidst chaos. Caitlyn Clark has navigated intense media scrutiny, physical challenges on the court, and constant debate with a remarkable level of composure. She projects a focus on the game and a humility that resonates deeply. On the other side, some players, despite considerable talent, have engaged in public controversies, social media spats, or expressed public frustration that, while perhaps authentic, hasn't translated into the same level of broad, positive fan investment. Consider one widely publicized incident where a player lashed out at fans online using strong, divisive language. While some might see that as keeping it real, the data suggests it doesn't build the kind of widespread, unconditional support that drives record jersey sales and sold-out arenas. Fans appreciate authenticity, but they also gravitate towards athletes who inspire, who handle pressure with grace, and who seem focused on earning respect rather than demanding it. The numbers hint that likability and perceived character play a significant role in converting potential fans into paying customers and loyal supporters.
Reese has is a carefully curated Instagram feed and a chip on her shoulder about not being treated the same. But here's the thing about treatment. It's not something you demand. It's something you earn.
All right, back to business. Slam bag work, Brittany Griner. You said you rang? Bang!
Somebody said she's got the coordination skills of a baby giraffe. I don't know what baby giraffes did to receive that kind of slander, but I won't stand for it. Bang!
The WNBA is back in little over a month. Friendly reminder, we're not watching because of one person. We're watching because of her, too.
Wait. Where are Asia and Angel? This can't be accurate. I mean, well, what are you going to say? What are you going to do?
Despite this mountain of converging evidence, jersey sales shattering records across leagues, markets transforming overnight, TV ratings soaring past established broadcasts, and endorsements reaching unprecedented heights, you'll still hear dissenting voices. You'll encounter arguments about media bias, about whether some players have a different type of impact that the numbers don't capture, about narratives being spun by external forces. But at some point, you have to look at the totality of the data and ask if media bias alone can triple ticket prices, make a player #2 in NBA sales, and fill arenas nationwide. Does social media hype explain why major brands are lining up with massive contracts? The cumulative proof across multiple independent metrics paints a consistent, undeniable picture. The data doesn't care about narratives or how loudly someone's supporters claim influence. It simply reflects reality, where the money is going, where the eyes are watching, and where the demand is highest. Trying to argue against these numbers is like trying to argue against gravity. It's a losing battle against an unassailable truth. The data stands as a wall against all attempts to spin a different story.
Be nice to look this clumsy at your job and then declare you're underpaid. Privilege! Bang! Justice for all baby giraffes out there. I will fight the good fight. Bang! There's one thing to take from these videos. Never give up, because if she can do it, you can do it too.
So the next time someone tries to pitch you the Angel Reese deserves the same treatment argument, just send them the jersey sales link. Let the data do the talking. Because no matter how hard they try to spin the narrative,
Lessons to players: if you want fans to buy your jerseys in ridiculous numbers, then hit ridiculous logo threes. Well, Andy, I will say this. If you want players to buy your jerseys, be likable. And don't shit on an entire fan base. Yeah, that's a thing.
And that's where some players miss the mark entirely. See, you can be a solid athlete, but if you're constantly beefing with fans, responding with attitude, or acting like you're owed admiration without earning it, don't be shocked when no one's lining up to wear your name across their back. Anyone remember when Angel Reese took a jab at her own support?
At this juncture, the conclusion is not just clear. It's a flashing neon sign pointing to where the true driving force of this WNBA moment resides. The data isn't ambiguous. It reveals one player whose arrival correlates directly with historic spikes in jersey sales across both leagues, unprecedented increases in ticket demand and prices, a dramatic rise in viewership that challenges established norms, and a cascade of major endorsement deals. This isn't about diminishing the talent or contributions of other players. It's about acknowledging the measurable, undeniable impact of the player who is demonstrably moving the needle on a scale never before seen in the league's history. Caitlyn Clark isn't just participating in the WNBA's growth. She is the catalyst, the engine, the primary reason for this sudden dramatic shift into the mainstream consciousness. Her impact isn't a subject for debate among those who follow the numbers. It's a verified fact. This level of magnetism, this ability to drive demand and attention across such varied metrics, is something that cannot be manufactured through social media presence or manufactured rivalries. You either have it or the numbers show you don't.
Twitter followers and spicy interviews.
And said she took the X and pretty much let the fans know how she was feeling. Let's pull up the tweet right now. This is the tweet right here. Angel Reese stated, "This is my podcast. Shut the F up. You don't watch. Thank you."
This is the reason the WNBA never showed the jersey sale numbers, but only put ranks. It was always Clark at 1 and a humongous, ginormous gap from Angel Reese at 2. We're paying thousands of dollars ticket prices to see her. She set gate revenue records all time. She broke how many records last year? 63, I think I counted. And she is the second highest selling NBA jersey. Not WNBA. I mean, this still won't shut haters up, by the way. I mean, look, if these other players are so damn popular, buy their shit. Up the ticket prices, up the demand, make them change stadiums. Nah, y'all gonna keep running your mouths. I guess just being broke because y'all are talking on the internet.
So, the next time the debate resurfaces, the claims are made about shared impact, or the arguments for a different truth are spun. Remember what the data revealed. Remember the jersey sales that placed one player second only to Steph Curry, while others were outside the top 10. Remember the ticket prices that soared, the arenas that sold out, the markets that transformed, and the viewership records that shattered. The numbers are objective. They don't lie. They sit there, a bold, irrefutable testament to who, at this moment in history, is truly the driving force behind the WNBA's unprecedented leap into the global spotlight. The truth, according to the data, is clear.